So here's three tight ends I'm looking to sell heading into week 9. And the first guy is Mark Andrews of the Baltimore Ravens. I think you could sell him off name appeal alone and get a decent running back or receiver, which I'd rather have than a tight end. I'd rather stream tight ends than have a big guy at some point. So Andrews, again, a struggling game. He had 6 targets, 3 catches, 32 yards for Andrews. Gets a lot of touchdowns over the year, but the last few games, Andrews hasn't been the same with 4 and then 6, and then he's got a tough matchup versus Indy and New England coming up. So teams, they're starting to notice, let's take Andrews out of the game plan and then try to win by making Willie Snead and Hollywood Brown try to beat me. And Lamar's looking to run the ball first before anything. So Mark Andrews, I think it's a time to sell him, to get something good for him. So that would be the first guy I'm looking to sell. His value still has decent value also. So I think you could get a good chip for him is Mark Andrews. The second guy I'm going to look to sell is Robert Tonyan. I feel like he's on my list every week when I do this segment. But Tonyan, he came off a great game. He's the 5th best scoring tight end in the week 8. But going into week 9, his value's back up now after coming off a 12-point fantasy day. But I would look to trade Tonyan. We saw him 2 weeks in a row, only at 5 points before yesterday's game versus Minnesota. And Alan Lazard, he might be back in time. And plus, he's got a tough matchup versus San Francisco, is Tonyan, who gives up the 25 least fantasy points to tight ends. So Tonyan, like I said, there might be a manager out there who needs a tight end bad, and you package him in something else for something good at the running back or receiver position. So Tonyan, I would look to trade him. I could find some cheaper options on the waiver wires, like Logan Thomas, who I like a lot, Trey Burton, Eric Ebron, and trade Tonyan in another piece for a good receiver or running back. So check out my waiver wire videos if you need help in those positions. And then the third and final guy I'm looking to sell off at tight end is Jared Cook. We saw him have a nice blow-up game versus a Chicago Bear defense, which was solid against tight ends coming into the year. And the thing with Cook, I like him for the most part. He's got 3 double-digit fantasy games in a row. And then in week 9, he's got Tampa Bay, which is a tough matchup on Sunday Night Football. But the thing is with Cook, there's no Michael Thomas or Emmanuel Sanders there. I don't know when Thomas is going to come back, but Sanders, I do know, week 9, he's going to return is Emmanuel Sanders, and he's going to take some of the targets and the looks away from Jared Cook. So Cook now, 3 good games. Maybe you could get a good running back or David Johnson, something along those lines to help you. Because I'm always looking to sell tight ends when their value is high and trying to get that running back or receiver, because those positions are more valuable to me than a tight end position where I could stream a couple guys. So if there's someone desperate for a tight end and you could snag a running back, this is the time to trade Cook for them, because Cook, his targets are going to go down, like I said, with Thomas and Sanders coming back. So that's 3 tight ends I'm looking to sell going into week 9.